Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Emily and this is Ready Steady Sew. So today's video is an extra special video because it is my turn to film a video for the So Frugal 22 challenge that is happening over on Instagram. I'm sure you've heard about it already as there are lots and lots of vloggers taking part, but I'll just give you a quick explanation of what the challenge involves. It is run by Ruan, who is the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and Sam, who is Frugalissima on Instagram and YouTube, and I will link to their channels down below. And basically you make a free pattern. Now last year the challenge was frugal frocks, so you had to make a dress last year, but this year they've extended it to include all free patterns. So any item of clothing, it can be a top, bottom, skirt, pajamas, dress, menswear, children's wear, whatever you like, as long as it is an item of clothing that can be worn. So you choose a free pattern. As I say, it's got to be a pattern that is free to anybody if possible. So ones that websites might give away for free, or ones that you might get for signing up to a mailing list, or you could upcycle an item of clothing, or you could draft your own patterns, as long as you are not spending money on the pattern. All the patterns that I've got to talk about today are ones that are free to anybody. They're not from magazines, they're not ones that I've been given. They are free to either download or join a mailing list, or some way they are free, they don't cost you any money. You then choose some fabric from your stash, or if you don't want to use fabric from your stash, you may choose to use something like an old bed cover or curtains or some kind of large piece of fabric you may have, or again you could upcycle an old garment. You could, change jeans to a skirt, for example. It has to be sewn in the month of March, and it's really exciting because today is the 1st of March, so the challenge kind of officially starts today. And then on the 31st of March, you will reveal your garment over on Instagram. So as I said, there are 2 vloggers taking part every day in this challenge, and it started about a week ago. I think it was the 19th of February it started last Saturday, and the vloggers carry on till the middle of March, I believe. So today it's my turn and Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. Yesterday it was So Do It Emma and Creative Momma 3, and then tomorrow keep your eye out for Rachel from Stitched Up's videos and Christine Sews A Lot. They'll be releasing their videos with their ideas for patterns for this challenge. If I look down, by the way, I have got my notebook because there's lots of information for me to tell you on this challenge and on the patterns I've found, so please bear with me. But yeah, basically you sew a free pattern in fabric you already own and you reveal it on the 31st of March. So basically you're making a frugal item of clothing. So as I said, the reveal date for So Frugal 22 is the 31st of March. So what you need to do is when you reveal your item of clothing, whatever you've made, you need to share it on Instagram on the 31st, not before, and use the hashtag SoFrugal22. If you want to show work in progress pictures along the way, you need to use the hashtag SoFrugal WIP as in work in progress. That's just so when it comes to selecting winners, Sam and Ruan can just look at that hashtag and all the completed garments are there. You can enter more than once, but they asked if you put them on separate entries, otherwise you'll just get entered once into the draw. There are loads of prizes, and I'll put some pictures in here of all the different sponsors who have donated prizes really kindly to the challenge. But it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to taking part. There's lots of people taking part. There's loads of free patterns, lots of sponsors. It's going to be a very exciting month. I shall link to all patterns and people that I mentioned down below in the description for this video. So before this challenge started, I knew of quite a few free patterns and I had a couple in my stash, but in doing research for this challenge in this video, I went down such a rabbit hole and I have found so many free patterns. It is amazing how many there are out there. You could make yourself an entire wardrobe just from free patterns. I've literally found underwear, I've found pajamas, I've found tops, bottoms, I've even found coats and jacket patterns that you can get for free. So there are so many patterns out there, so it is worth having a look for free patterns, if you're tight on money or you just don't want to buy a new pattern. I've got 5 to talk about, and they are patterns that I found myself downloading when I was looking. As I say, I found loads and loads of patterns. I only downloaded a few, I didn't download many, but I thought I'll talk about the ones that I must really like. As I say, I've downloaded them, so I would like to make them at some point. Whether I make them in March or not remains to be seen, but I would definitely aim to make 1 or 2 of them in March. As I say, I didn't know whether to focus on a specific garment type or a specific fabric, because I know some people are doing that. but I've decided just to talk about 5 patterns that I either already owned in my stash or that I found when doing research for this project. So the first pattern that I've got to talk to you about is the Sabina skirt, and this is by the Little Pomegranate. You may recognise her because she was on one of the series of the Great British Sewing Bee. I can't remember how many years ago, a couple of years ago. Her name's Ruan, and she's ever so nice from watching on the telly. But this is a skirt that she has drafted herself, and it is free if you sign up to her newsletter for her blog. So this is a skirt. I'll just zoom in for you very technically, and it is a gathered skirt which sits on your waist. It's designed for easy fitting, and it's got elasticated waistband, gentle shaping at the hips, roomy pockets and a ruffle hem. And it is designed for beginners in mind because the instructions are very comprehensive. There are lots of tips and lots of information that will help you along the way. Everything's explained really, really well. To say this is a free pattern, I've got to say the instructions from what I've seen of them so far are incredible. They're really detailed and there is so much information in them. Yeah, obviously if you're an experienced sewer, you don't need all this information, but I do think it's one of the best explained instructions I've seen. Let me find the page. There's a page that I really, really like in these instructions that I think you could print out and use for any pattern, and it's just in my notes page. So you write your pattern and your date and your size and what you made, put a fabric swatch on, any adjustments, any hacks and notes. And although it is designed for this pattern, to give this pattern, I think you could use this for any pattern. I think this is a really nice touch to include. So let me just find the sizes. So the sizes goes, it's a really inclusive size range. It goes from a size 6 to a size 34. So the waist for a size 6 is 25 inches and the waist for a 34 is 51.5 inches. So a really big size range there. And I like that this skirt is shaped, so it's not a rectangle, it's shaped in slightly towards the waist, so you're not going to have as much gathering at the waist, so it's not going to be as bulky as some other gathered skirts may be. You can use a variety of fabrics. Let me find my sheet again. Here we go. Yeah, he says this pattern will work best with light to medium weight woven fabrics, i.e. fabrics that don't stretch. Fabrics like cotton, it can be cotton lawn, poplin, shirting or seersucker and linen. And says they're good for beginners and will give you a bit more structure. More drapey fabrics like viscose, rayon, tencel, twills and crepes will give a floatier, more fluid skirt. So again, a huge range of fabrics that you could use. And I just think it's a really pretty skirt. Here's a line drawing. So you can see that it is kind of shaped at the hip and the waist slightly. It's not just a straight rectangle. Now it is a bit different to what I usually make. It's not the kind of skirt I have in my wardrobe, but I really, really like it. So I'm planning to give this a go in March if I get a chance. And I've picked out 3 fabrics that I think I could use for this skirt. It says that you need, I think, up to 2 meters, and I've got enough of all these fabrics. So I've got 3 fabrics here that I could potentially use. So the first one is this pink and navy leopard print viscose, which I got in a So Hailey Jane box. If you watched my sewing plans for 2022, you know I talked about using this for a sew over at Alba skirt. But I think this could also work really, really nicely for the Sabina skirt. I love the colour of it. Yeah, I love leopard print. If you know me at all, you know I love leopard print. And I just think this will make a really nice skirt of some sort. So yeah, a potential fabric is this one that I could use for the Sabina skirt. Just fold it up, chuck it over there. The next one I've got is, again, another viscose, and I think I have got 2 meters of this exactly. And I bought this a while ago. I think I got it from La Mazzi Fabrics. Again, I will link to any fabrics down below if they're still in stock. If not, I'll just link to the shop I got them from. But again, it's this lovely viscose. It's beautiful. It's got lots of flowers on it and they're kind of painted. I just think it's really, really gorgeous. I love the black background. I don't know if it's a bit too busy for a skirt, but it's a potential fabric and I do really like it, and I love the colours. I do like florals on a dark background, so this is a potential fabric that I could make the Sabina skirt from. And then my other option, which is the one I'm kind of leaning the most towards, is the fabric that we got in this month's So Hailey Jane box. I got the coral colourway, the ready coral colour, and again it's a viscose. I've got 2.5 meters, so I've got plenty to make the skirt with, and I just think this would potentially make a really nice Sabina skirt with a ruffle on the bottom. I think it's a midi length skirt, but I think it's, you know, on the longer side. So yeah, you can always shorten it if you wanted to, or lengthen it if you wanted to as well. I'm sure that'd be an easy enough hack to do. but this is the potential fabric and I'm leaning more towards this, but we shall see. But the Sabina skirt is one I really like. I think the instructions are really good and I'm hoping to potentially sew that up in March. The next pattern that I found that I really like is a relatively new one, and it's the Etti camisole, and that's by Tammy Handmade. This is a free pattern in her shop. You don't need to sign up to anything. You just go and visit her website, which I will link to down below, and you can purchase it for free in her shop. I'll put a picture of it in here, but it is a lovely, just a plain camisole, but it's got a scalloped edge, and that's the thing that makes it a bit different to other camisoles. I have tried the True Bias cami, but I want to try this because I like the scalloped edge, and I think it's a really good opportunity to practice some skills and to develop your sewing, and again, it's free. Now, it comes in sizes 6 to 24, so not as big a size range, but still decent. And the bust for a size 6 is 31 inches, and then it goes up to a 49-inch bust. And the waist is 24 inches for a size 6, and that goes up to 42 inches. And then the hips are 34 inches, and it goes up to 52 inches. Again, you could make a camisole in a range of lightweight woven fabrics, such as satin, cottons, viscoses, voiles, crepes, lots of potentials. The fabric I have, if I make it, is I'm going to be really boring and just make a plain black one. I have got some black crepe, just plain black crepe, but I just think that will go with so many things in my wardrobe. If I make it, it could go really nicely with my skirt, my Sabina skirt, if I make it. Or if I had enough fabric, I could make the Sabina skirt and the camisole in the same fabric, and it would almost look like a dress possibly. So that's an option. But yeah, I'm thinking if I make it, I'm going to make it in this black crepe. I think that'll be perfect. As I say, I like the scalloped edge on it. So that's another option for a free pattern that you could use. The next pattern that I found was one by Peppermint magazine, and I'm sure you've all heard of this website. It's a magazine, I think it's Australian, I'm not sure, but I think it's Australian, and they have patterns that you can download for free. They ask for donations, but you don't have to give one. It's nice to give one, obviously, because a lot of hard work goes into drafting patterns, but they are free to download if you sign up to their newsletter. And they have got so many nice patterns. There's at least 3 on there that I want to make in March. I'm definitely going to make one of them, but the pattern that I've got to talk to you about is the wrap top. This pattern I've liked since it was released a year or 2 ago. I've had it in my stash for ages, but I've never got around to making it. It says on the description that it's a simple trans-seasonal piece you didn't know that your wardrobe needed. And it is such a lovely pattern. Again, I'll put a picture in here of it. And it comes in sizes A to J. And that is a bust of 29 7/8 inches up to 51 5/8 of an inch. And the waist is from 24 inches up to 45 5/8 inches. So I would probably be towards near the top end, not quite the top end, but near the top end of that. But it's still a lovely pattern, and it says you did less than 2 meters of fabric, so that's exciting. So I've got a fabric that I've had in my stash. I bought it at the Stitch Festival just before COVID happened, and I've had it in my stash all this time with the intention of making that top. I've never got round to it. But it is this lovely kind of green, it's a bit creased, so please forgive me. It's green and black kind of zebra print. I think it's a viscose lawn because it's really lightweight, but I believe it's a viscose lawn. And I think this will work. Even though the sample's in linen, I still think this will look really nice as a wrap top. Green's not a colour I usually wear, but I just really like this fabric, this pattern on it. So I'm thinking if I make it, I might use this fabric for it. So yeah, that's another option for a free pattern that you could use. A Peppermint magazine has lots and lots of free patterns, and I'm sure lots of other vloggers are going to mention them in this series. The next free pattern that I've got to talk to you about, oops, sorry, I just kicked something under my table. The next free pattern that I've got is one that's been around for a couple of years, and I have seen a few people make this, but I've always really liked it. And it's the Galaxy Tee by Pattern Scissors Cloth. Again, it's a t-shirt pattern, and lots of free patterns I found are t-shirts, but the thing I like about this one is the sleeves. I haven't seen many t-shirts with like the kind of puff sleeves. Again, I'll put a picture in here. So it's just a classic t-shirt with chic puff sleeves. You have to subscribe to her blog to get it, but then as I say, it's a free download. It needs up to 1.6 meters of fabric, and it comes in, I don't know what the sizes are, whether it's A to J or 1, 2, 3, etc., but they could go from an 88 centimetre bust up to 122 centimetre bust, which equates to roughly 34 2/3 of an inch up to 48-inch bust. Okay, so that's the Galaxy Tee by Pattern Scissors Cloth, and I've got 2 potential fabrics from my stash that I can use. The first one, pull them over here, move that. The first one is this grey leopard print jersey. They're both cotton jerseys that I bought. I can't remember where I got this from, but it's just a grey leopard print jersey. It's got kind of navy and cream leopard print on it. So that's one option that I can make it in. Or my second option is this lovely navy blue base with flowers on it. It's got kind of, I think the pansies. I don't know what the others are, I'm not good with flowers. And there's that, and I thought if I make it in this, I have got some red ribbon I could use maybe for the neckband and for the cuffs. That's a potential piece I could use with that. So that's the Galaxy Tee by Pattern Scissors Cloth. As I say, I'll link to all the patterns down below. The final pattern that I'm going to share with you today is one that again is relatively new, and it's by Ellie and Mac, and it's their adult pyjama pattern. It's a comfortable and relaxed fit, gender expansive, if a woven or knit pattern, and you can make either pyjamas or a nightgown. And I love this pattern because there is so much scope for it. So as I say, you can use woven or knit fabrics. You can make either a nightshirt or pyjamas, and then within the pyjamas you can make either a knit kind of sweatshirt and trouser type set, t-shirt and trouser set, or you can make like a button-up top and trousers. And also there is a free eye mask pattern and tutorial included in that if you want to make that as well to match. So, and the size bands is really inclusive as well. It goes from an extra small up to a 6XL. So the chest measurement for an extra small is 32 to 34 inches, and that goes up to 61 to 62 inches. The waist goes from 26 to 28 inches and up to 61 to 63 inches. And the hip measurement goes from 32 to 34 up to 60 to 63. I say big size range, lots of scope. Again, I've put pictures in here, lots of scope for different variations of it. You can use pretty much any fabric, pretty much. You can flannel, cotton, lycra, fleece, rayon, French terry, viscose, satin, silk. There's so much scope because it's for woven and for knit. You can do button up, night shirts, whatever you like. Lots and lots of scope for that. So I think that's a really, really great pattern to get for free. Lots of opportunity for different variations there. And I've got 2 fabrics to share. One is a cotton lawn. I think it's make a nice pair of button-up pyjamas. It's leopard print as usual. Again, green colour. Don't usually wear green, but I couldn't resist. Green and some kind of orangey colour with navy. And this is a cotton lawn. So that's one option. I think I've got 2.5 meters. So I could potentially get a pyjama set. If I can't get a proper trouser and top set, I should be able to get shorts and a top out of this. That's one potential fabric. And again, the other fabric is a brushed cotton that we got in a So Hayley Jane box. I think it was December, not last year, the year before, 2020. Yeah, it's a red tartan cotton lawn, brushed cotton. Again, this is going to be pyjamas of some sort. Whether or not I make these pyjamas or not remains to be seen, but I definitely plan to use this for pyjamas. So I thought I could potentially make either a night shirt, or I could again make a pair of button-up pyjamas with this one. So that's another potential fabric for that pattern. So those are my 5 patterns that I downloaded and I really, really liked, that I thought I could potentially make in March for So Frugal 22. Before I go, I just want to tell you there are a couple of offers that are available. Size Me Sewing has very kindly offered her Florence boxy tee to anyone taking part in the challenge. All you have to do is go to her website and use the code FRUGALT to download the pattern for free, and that is valid till the 30th of March, so it's worth checking out if you want a free t-shirt pattern. And then Say Fabricate Mayfield are offering 20% off all their fabric printing or zero printing using the code SoFrugal22, and that is up to the end of March, the 31st of March. Yeah, you can use it once per customer, but again, if you want to get anything printed, that's fine. I forgot to say what I'm wearing. This is the Mandy Boat Tee by Tessuti Fabrics. I made this when I was pregnant, so it is slightly large, but it's a really comfy, really nice pattern. It is a free pattern, which is why I've worn it today. And I forgot to tell you about it. It's me all over. So yeah, that is my plans or my ideas for So Frugal 22. As I say, please keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow's videos. Rachel from Stitched Up and Christine sews a lot. I know I'd written it down somewhere. If you're new to my channel and you've watched it because of So Frugal, please consider subscribing. I'd love it if you do. Please let me know what you're planning on making down below. I love to chat to you about your sewing plans and what you're up to, and it's lovely to hear from you. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.